While some parts of the world are facing rising water, other parts are drying up, including the West Coast. Last year, Keith caught up with a family dealing with dwindling water supplies in California, and today he shows us what it all has to do with climate change.
Scorching heat, devastating droughts, wildfires burning out of control. Some of the biggest threats to our future in a warming world.
The simple definition for drought is when we don't have enough water to do what we need. The drought is dangerous because it is a creeping hazard. It basically, you don't know it's there until it's there.
No one knows this better than the people in the Golden State. The nearly 40 million people in California are dealing with an intense 5-year drought, one of the biggest in modern history, costing billions of dollars a year. For some people, it's so bad their faucets have dripped to a halt.
Every drop counts, no matter if you're in a drought or not.
For 18-year-old Julian and her family in Tuolumne, California, this drought is hitting close to home.
Normally there'd be about 10 feet of water in this well, but if you look down here now, during the drought, there's only about 18 inches, which is pretty much nothing at all.
It's important to monitor because on some days, their well totally runs dry.
Would you say it's pretty stressful not having water?
Yeah, because you really got to watch you got to really pay attention to what you're doing. It's just this hassle not being in your own home setting and not being able to shower and drink water when you want to. You got to really conserve because you just want to grab a glass and get water, and you can't do that when there's no water to use.
From timed showers to collecting water in buckets at every faucet, no drop is lost at Julian's house.
Like brushing my teeth and putting makeup on, it's pretty difficult. Usually you just use this to rinse it out and then rinse your mouth out. You're putting this on. Sometimes it gets on my hands. So after I'm done, I usually just use this. And your hands are clean.
So all with the same
All
water?
with the same water that you brush your teeth with.
And everyone is pitching in with some pretty interesting ways of saving some H2O.
So what is that, Jordan?
I call it my sleeping cap, and it helps me keep my hair down at night so I don't wake up with crazy hair and have to use water to wet it down and comb it.
As we drive around Julian's neighborhood, the signs of drought are apparent. Even on her school's campus, reminders are all around.
Right there. There's usually flowers and stuff there, and that's all dead.
Because they can't be watered.
No, it can't be watered. None of this is watered.
So is this extreme weather event connected with a changing climate? Well, scientists say it's difficult to say climate change caused the drought. Instead, they say a warming Earth is making droughts more intense.
The concern with climate change is that certain parts of the world, especially the drought-prone parts of the world, will likely see an increased risk of either more frequent or longer-lasting drought. Water availability is probably one of the biggest risks and vulnerabilities that we see in a warming world.
And rising temperatures and changing weather patterns are also causing dangerous heat waves when temperatures soar for days on end. Last week, the White House released a report that said heat wave deaths could worsen by 2030 due to climate change, killing thousands more. And a lack of water and scorching temps are also prime ingredients to spark these. Two of the 3 biggest wildfires in California's history happened over the last 5 years. Many in California are working to adapt. The government now restricts how much water residents can use. Homeowners are replacing grass with more desert-friendly landscaping. New ways of irrigating are being looked at, as over 80% of California's water is used to grow food and for livestock. Luckily, for the first few months of 2016, California has been drenched with rain and snow caused by a weather event called El Nino. This has helped to recharge many reservoirs and get water to those who need it the most. But the state needs much more to recover. Many areas are still considered to be at extreme or exceptional drought levels. In Julian's community, those in most desperate need require huge tanks to store thousands of gallons of water that's trucked in.
Hauling drinking water in a truck is not the long-term solution. I think for years we've needed to change the way we use water. The silver lining is this will force that change.
On this day, Mike's crew is making a special delivery.
Having a tank, I think, is going to help out a lot. They're not going to have to deal with like the stress of constantly like conserving water.
It's great news for Julian and her family, but only a temporary solution to what is going to be a long-term change. Keith Kosinski, Channel 1 News.
And since last year, heavy winter precipitation has helped Julian and her family's well gain back much of the water it lost. But California is still really short on water. According to NASA, it's 13 trillion gallons short. And you can find out if you're a water waster. Just take our quiz over at channel1.com. All right, coming up, a group of LA teens face off for a cooking challenge.